So welcome everybody to Spring Equinox 2022. Beautiful day to gather together, an auspicious day for energy. Welcome anyone new who's never really experienced a multidimensional healing energy session. You're in for a treat, and I'm so excited you're here. We're here to do earth work, gathering together as a collective to work on the collective consciousness of humanity, to help better the earth, to create new vision, and also to work on that vision within yourself. So, dropping down into your grounding cords. Grounding cord is at the base of your spine. We are meeting right now in a sacred space between worlds. This sacred space has a local, as a planetary location, which is at the base of Mount Kailash, up in the Tibet mountains near Nepal. And it is a sacred mountain that is known for its pilgrimage. But also, this cave, this location has a celestial interface with other realms, the goddess realm, the angelic realm, to really gather together the divine ambassadors and emissaries here that are devoted to evolution, to your evolution, and through you, the planet's evolution. So here, welcome. Just get comfortable. Experience it however you're experiencing it. Every time is different. Every person's experience of it is different. And we're going to introduce you to your guide right now. Your guide is your own personal guide, probably worked with you for a very long time. And they're going to help you usher you through. They're going to represent you through this session because there's up to 1,000 different beings with us at any given time. They change through different phases as to what's needed and how it's needed. And so your guide is going to make sure you get what you need, where you need it, how you need it. And so your guide may be embracing you. Yep. So, okay, beautiful. Because it's such an auspicious day, also you're getting an angelic guide. Whew. I don't know if you felt them come into your spine or surround you with their arms. We're getting a special spring equinox angelic guide for each of us to really augment the session. Whew. I don't know about you, but that angelic guide is so beautiful. It could feel like a rush of energy maybe in your spine, or just a warm feeling in your body. So again, every session is different. Sessions that we do on special days like today have special gifts. And the first special gift we got is an angel who is dedicated to the spring equinox, which is balance, dedicated to new beginnings, an angel to really help usher you through um, this session and blessing you with whatever it is that you need. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Whew, beautiful start to this night. So again, dropping into your grounding cord, which is at the base of your spine. And what I'm going to do for those of you who've never experienced a session before is update your grounding cord. Create new frequency structures. These new frequency structures are really just upgrading, how you update your apps or your devices. This is upgrading your grounding cord to the latest frequencies coming in today, which really just helps you flow better. So I'm giving you new frequency grounding structures and then creating a new frequency grounding cord. For those of you who don't have it, there you go. I don't know if you felt it, but it just allowed you to ground and in that grounding flow much more smoothly. There we go, beautiful. So as you drop down into your grounding cord, I want you to breathe gently down into earth. Go down through the chair you're sitting on, go down through the ground beneath the chair or the couch or the bed, go down beneath the sub-basement or layers of the building you're in until you hit the soil in whatever geology is in your geography. Through the top levels, any kind of shale, rock, water table, down through the molten lava at the center of the earth to the heart of Gaia. Oh, here she's welcoming us. It's on this special day where it's seasonal change, equal parts like night and day. Plug into Gaia like you're plugging in an outlet plug into an outlet and like an umbilical cord into Mother. And as you connect with Mother Earth, feel that rush of awakening Earth energy. She's giving us a blessing today. So just open to receive. And here she's inviting you, if you set an intention or if you haven't set an intention, she's inviting you to hear, to be a witness to whatever your intention is for this session, whatever your prayer is. And please make it personal, because the overarching goal of this work is for the world, is for a blessing for the world. So take a moment, set your intention. And Mother Earth herself is listening. And in that listening is her blessing. She's holding it for you with open arms, welcoming arms. Whew. Already a powerful session. Those of you tuning in, we have an angel in our spine helping us throughout the session. And now Mother Earth inviting you to set your intention for the evening. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And now, as Earth, breathe this liquid energy back up into you, up through all your chakras, out your crown, connected to the very center of the Earth, or very center of the galaxy, your higher self, and then having that flow. Like you are betwixt in between, you're stretched between the center of the galaxy and your higher self and the center of the Earth. And this flow is grounding, anchoring, but also centering you. For some of you, there's some work being done right behind your third chakra to help that flow be much, much more efficient. There we go. There we go. So it felt like there was just some sticky debris behind your third chakra. Your third chakra is your power center. So it also may be a little bit of control, wanting to control situations in your life. Continuing to breathe down into Earth, and as Earth breathing up into you. Helping to really solidify, open, and power up this flow. For those of you who already have power lines, it's deepening, broadening, amplifying, strengthening. For those of you who don't, it's really just helping that flow within you. And the flow within you is in your core center. It's in your energetic spine. And it really helps you meet change in a balanced way. If you can think of like a plumb line, that's very grounded. Deepest roots of a tree can weather the storm much more effectively. But also if you are anchored and centered in your higher self that's flowing and grounded in the earth, think of how stable that makes you. In an ever-changing world, that stability that's grounded and anchored, but also flowing with your divinity, with your infinite self, with your higher awareness. Wow. A potent, powerful force. And this is what we've been doing all month long in the groups that meet in the Earthworker series. Every time we start, we're working on this flow, kind of like construction going on. Every session. Because as Earthlings awakening on a planet that's awakening, this flow is fundamental to weathering the changes within yourself, within the planet, within your community, in your lives, in society. Yes, to hold more higher frequency energy, but to be able to ground it into the planet. It's lovely to really raise your vibration, but if you're not grounded and you're not anchored, it's not really helping to center that within the planet herself. Okay, still working on this flow. My job is just to listen. There's some clearing in some of you behind your throat chakra. Some of you, it's in your kidneys. There we go. Just to establish a grounding and anchoring that's centered in your higher self. On this auspicious day, the angelic presence. Feels like this angelic presence is really helping. I often laugh because I describe this work as roto-rootering. This is one of the few times it truly feels like it's roto-rootering in your spine. In your energetic spine, your core center, whatever is needing some road construction, either augmenting, shoring up, reinforcing, or clearing, even sandblasting. If you joined the Earthworker membership, there's a wonderful video energetic session called multidimensional grounding. It goes through each of the chakras one by one and dimensionally opens them up. Powerful, powerful. This feels not unlike that, but this is different. The energy here is different. It's very light but powerful, almost laser powerful. And I think it's the grace of the spring angels. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Acknowledging, thanking them. And in that acknowledgement, they're smiling back. Happy to help. Happy to help. It's in your development, in how you serve yourself and serve others and serve your communities. So very valuable. There we go. Okay, and give me the green light. So now we're going into the regulation phase. Imagine that this is a beautiful pool. A pool in your favorite relaxing spot, whether it's a hot tub or a lake, or you're just walking in a stream, anything that is liquid, refreshing, and calming. For me, it's just floating in the ocean because the salt water is buoyant. And imagine that this immersion is helping you to not just relax, but to open. Open your pores, open your cells, open your atoms, open your quarks. And what's happening here is regulation is coming in to pinpoint and target anything that needs attention in preparation for the session. And it started just in the open. It's going to your kidneys. The session this month, our focus in our Earth Worker series is on the bladder, which is impacting the kidneys. But here, it's going to your kidneys, it's going to your third chakra. And it's going to that flow that we created in your energetic spine to help reinforce that, augment it, support it in whatever way is needed. Because it's not enough to anchor and ground and be grounded. How do we live this grounding? How do we embody it in our current life? How do we share it with others if we ourselves aren't grounded? How do we serve others on the planet if we ourselves aren't embodied? And embodiment just is bringing in this life force and learning how to live it in the way we walk in life, the way we talk and speak, the way we act and think. Living this lightheartedness, living the joy, living the love, and walking and talking and acting it out in every aspect. So this channeling that they're doing, and what I mean by channeling is not channel, it's like digging out. Again, the term roto-rooter, which they laugh at me when I use that. It actually feels that that's what they're doing. And creating a more of a channel, more of a core, more of a source of being the flow within you. And for some of you, that's focusing on the kidneys, others, the third chakra, sternum, the lower part of the lungs, the spleen. There we go. There's a nice movement. Oh, that created some relaxing for some of you. This may be felt as a little bit of tension. And for those of you who are new, this is a working energy session. It is not, it can be very relaxing, but it's working. It's energy that is coming in to serve your higher purpose, to serve your human purpose. And that higher and human purpose is to be better, to be grounded, to be transformed. And again, the term embodiment comes up. To embody that higher force that is you living on this awakening planet. And to do that, this flow that they're establishing within your spine is anchored in the earth, connected to your higher self, to be better able to flow with life in a changing world. What a gift. That is actually probably the definition of balance in my view, in my point of view. So this is a working session. The question is, if you want balance in your life, it's not enough just to bring in the vibration of balance. How do you live it? And when you answer that question with a solution, the solution is, well, we have to remove what isn't balanced in your life. And what isn't balanced are some of these old conditioned habits and patterns. The programs from our ancestors, the programs from our genetics that are deeply embedded in every cell, in our metaphysiology as well as our body, and also our karmic past life history. These two areas of conditioning are often forgotten because we are more focused on, what happened in this life, which is really important. But those two contribute to the reality streams that are playing out in this current life. And also there's a fourth element, the divine blueprints, and how it's all interwoven. And so this is where we're working in regulation. This is where we're working in every phase. And how those patterns create blocks, they create stickiness, to prevent the balance from really flowing. So here in the regulation phase, we're opening up that channel of flow in your energetic spine all the way down to the very center of the earth. Connected and grounded to your higher self, the light flowing, coming grounded. And there's a calming, balancing effect to this energy. Again, some focus for some of you on the throat chakra, in your shoulders, and any burdens you may feel like you're carrying. And if anything is arising within you that's trying to get your attention, like a story or an emotion, allow it to pass through like weather. Each one of the phases that we're going through sets you up for the next one. That's why it's important to start at the beginning and go through the end. But the replay is always there to serve you. Because as each phase comes in, it's linked to the next one. One's linked to the next one, creating kind of a trickle down or even just a build up of what's most needed to affect dimensional change. And we're helped here today on this beautiful day, the spring equinox day, the vernal equinox, where we're celebrating equal parts light and balance, light and dark, equal parts of balance. The goddesses celebrating the seasonal change, Stera linked to it. It's an invitation for growth, for new growth, a promise for new growth. We have an angel that joined us. I don't know about you, but I really feel them in my heart and spine and body. To serve your intention you set earlier with the blessing of Mother Earth and the greater intention of creating more balance in your life, creating more balance in the earth itself. For all humanity. Okay, hold on. There's something coming out of your heart center. There you go. Beautiful. Just open, receive, and let the energy work for you. And even though you have an angel in your spine, there's celestials. There's angels of the equinox also supporting session and your journey and the overall intention. And the core here, again, because our intention overall was to create balance, we're opening up a channel of flow so that you can meet life grounded and anchored in balance, flowing with your higher self, centered within your core, anchored and grounded in the earth. Think of how much stability, much wisdom, how much clarity, much support. If you can attain that and retain it and also embody it. Think of how much that'll help your own growth. Again, the focus on your kidneys for some of you. Kidneys, a source of fear. Kidneys are also about elimination. They're a filter. Question for pondering. What is it you're not letting go? What is it that needs to be eliminated in your life, in your thoughts? Beautiful. And as this flow, this channel keeps regulating, it's like a wave undulating from your feet up to your crown, all the way up to the center of your higher self, down into the center of the earth, just creating a natural flow within you, like radio waves, like it's attuning your body to this grounded flow of your own light, of your own vibrational presence as a spark of the divine. Just a couple more minutes of telling me. And as this flow is, these undulating waves are starting to slow down within you, see if you can notice that there's more calm, more silence, or more stillness, or maybe just a feeling of being supported within you. Notice what's different. There we go. Now it's starting to settle down. Undulating waves of energy from your feet to your crown, to your crown, to your feet, to help attune your entire body, physiology, metaphysiology, to a sense of grounded flow that is embodied, that is helping create the higher presence of you, not only within your body, but grounded and anchored in it. And now gently switching to the next phase, which is called embrace. Embrace is the energies of love, energies of peace that are literally enfolding you just like an embrace. But it has two purposes. The first one being to illuminate, to highlight any areas that are raw, vulnerable, shrinking back, resisting, avoidant, so that the energy of compassion, of nurturing, of gentleness can come in and organically reinforce and support those areas, meet them in a way that helps them feel loved, safe, protected, so that they can gently have access and open like a flower opens to the sun. And these are the tender areas, again, the more raw areas, the more vulnerable areas. So embrace is here to help you truly feel at home. Remember that invitation to find that sacred space of liquid refreshment, that sanctuary within your mind, whether that was a hot tub or a lake or floating in the ocean. Here too, you can envision that immersion where the waters of love are gently enfolding you, gently embracing you, especially in any areas that don't feel loved, don't feel safe, don't feel at peace. Bring in that stability, and maybe that's why we took so long to help create that central flow balance to support these areas. And for some of you, again, it's going right to the kidneys, it's going to your shoulder blades. Shoulder blades can symbolize burdens. Are any of you carrying burdens that feel too weighty? We kind of all are in this world in some form. If you're sensitive and you look around and you see injustices, it's a burden in and of itself. It's going into your lungs. It's going into your mental body. And kind of the sadness, the heaviness that's felt there. Emotional body. Embracing all those tender areas. The angelic being in your body and your spine. Really helping by bringing in that extra bit of grace. So gently lean back and relax into it. Again, envisioning that pool that you're in, that hot tub. You're an ocean just sinking down deeper into those calmer waters. There's no waves here, just the calm waters of support. A lot of tension in the middle of your back, behind your lungs, behind your third chakra, behind your heart, in your shoulder blades. To me, when we're working on the back of the body, that indicates past lives, ancestral patterns. It may feel like burdensome conditioning and programming that may knock you off balance. Focus of today is creating that flow, to be more in balance. And so, an energetic working session like this says, okay, well, what's out of balance? And this team of helpers we have here, including your special spring equinox angel that's in your spine. They're getting really embarrassed because I'm pointing them out all the time. But I just feel like just so lovingly held by them. Your own personal guide and all the ambassadors, emissaries, we have divine team of divine mothers, the master healers, Christ consciousness, Merlin of magical transformation, earth elementals, star lineages, a collective of beings supporting your evolution here with your own personal guide, sorting through it all to make sure you get what you need in the exact areas you needed to facilitate balance. And to facilitate balance isn't just a snap of the fingers, it takes work. That's why we meet every week, 3 times a week for people who are in it as an intensive experience. Maybe you don't need that. Maybe you just need a gentle nudge from this session. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. What a gift it is to have you here to share in this experience, to create more balance within. And as we create more balance within you and your lineage, your incarnational history, the thread in the web of life, it's impacted. Thank you. Whew. Okay, so hold on a little bit. There's some really tender areas in your kidneys that are being pointed out. So just breathe with me a little bit as these tender areas get flooded with love, with grace, with equanimity, the peace that surpasses all understanding, coming in with compassion and nurturing for any energies that may shrink back out of an emotional memory or history, shame, pain, blame, suffering, anger, fear, resentment, righteousness, hurt. It creates an imbalance. And allow it to just dissolve away, like whatever pool you're in. These are little nuggets, salt nuggets that are just dissolving slowly. And as they dissolve slowly, it's creating more space. Think of these conditioned patterns as something heavy, a density, entanglement, something constrictive. within you. You can have cellular memories of constrictions. Trauma does that, old unresolved wounds, trauma embedded in your cellular memory, embedded in your body. What's the well-known book? The Body Keeps the Score. Well, there's definite energetic signatures of them. Going into the central nervous system, into your endocrine system, into your brain consciousness. Just holding you in this embrace, this cocoon, sacred space of love, of acceptance, of allowing. Imagine you are in a place where you are so loved authentically. There is nothing here that isn't loved. There is nothing here that can be shamed, blamed, guilted. Everything here is allowed and accepted and loved. And that's where resistance usually shrinks back. So those places of guilt, of blame, of shame, of hurt, anger, resentment, toxic patterns. Here we're inviting them out. Just be held. No judgment. Just be held in a safe cocoon. And this is where some ancestral patterns that you may not even be aware of, incarnational patterns you may not even be aware of, these are our blind spots or shadow sides, are illuminated, brought forward in love. Brought forward in light. Brought forward with nurturing and compassion. So we can help access, dissolve, break down, wash away any of their hold. Promise of a new beginning, as the equinox reminds us, is laying seeds of change. But if the soil that they're planted in has some toxicity in it, whatever is growing isn't going to be healthy. And so in the first couple of phases, we're just pulling out those weeds and rocks and dissolving away any soil that's been poisoned by ancestral or karmic history, memories that are unhealed, unprocessed, unseen, unresolved. That are ready, willing, and able to be let go of. There we go. When we first start these phases, it can be a little turbulent at times, or bumpy, or if you're sensitive and feel it, it just can be intense. And then as the energy continues to work, it starts to settle down. Okay, beautiful. Gently going forward to the next phase, which is energize. Energetic phase is saying, what is it that needs more fuel? What part of you has been weakened or depleted by the stresses of life, by the fear that we're pointing at in your kidneys? A depleted body, a weakened body, can't hold or sustain the higher frequencies coming in if they're still weakened by the old wounds and programming, conditioning, egoic consciousness of our past lives imprints, our genetic imprints, of unresolved, unhealed, unprocessed emotion. So it's going again right to the kidneys, right to the third chakra. Whew. To optimize, and optimize means to clear, to harmonize if anything's overstimulated, to strengthen, to rebuild its strength if it's needed, to energize, refuel. With the intention here to serve, to create more of a flow of balance within you and for you, and through you as a greater aspect of the collective. So gently notice if there again is any rush of energy. Could feel burning, could feel tension, could feel lightness. Whatever you're feeling is exactly what it should be. A lot of focus on your third chakra, a lot of focus on your shoulders and behind your heart, back of your lungs. A little bit on the throat chakra, but mainly your upper body, from your third chakra to the back of your neck. To me, that indicates burdens. What are the burdens? They're creating an imbalance in your life. Using a tool I call BioRemanifest, works on the biology in a very, very powerful way. The cellular molecular into the quarks. It's a dimensional tool that is designed to really work on the physical. It feels like what's in the back of your shoulder blades down to your third chakra. It's just a sense of anger, resentment built up, again, because it's in the back. It's affiliated more or less with your ancestors, your karmic history, but of course it's filtering through in this life. How can we not be angry? It feels like injustice. I'm sensing it has to do with injustice. And oh my goodness gracious, so timely. And if we're in this seasonal change and we're looking back at winter with reflection, getting ready to birth new seeds of change for the spring, what about this injustice? Is there anything in your life that you feel is unjust? This is the tension patterns that are held in the neck and the shoulders, behind your lungs, all the way down to your kidneys. That lack of control in your third chakra. This is the burden of injustice. Those of you who watch the news don't even need to name what's going on right now for you to know that there's plenty of injustices happening. For us to cry out in anger. And our ancestors, our past lives, are resonating with that within us. So if we are triggered externally by something we're seeing through our eyes on the news or reading in the paper or online in the headlines, it's because there's something within us that's resonating within it. And because we're working dimensionally, and because to me it's showing up in the back of your neck all the way down to the top part of your third chakra, and the top of your kidneys, is the imbalance of injustice, unresolved anger, resentment, the unfairness in the world, the cruelty. What a thing to approach. And this has weakened your system, it's weakened your spine, it's weakened your inability to flow in a way that is free. Now, this injustice doesn't have to do with our inability to act. Of course, we want to act, but if we're acting from a place of anger, all we're doing is coding that action in anger. Like the war on peace, it just can't happen. There's no war on peace. In order to establish peace, you have to bring forward peaceful actions, peaceful vibrations, and work from. That's why Jesus was so efficient. Gandhi, even Martin Luther King, the nonviolent protests, and bringing forward peace from a place that lived it, that embodied it. So now do you see how when we started with this flow, this central channel of flow, how important it is step by step to get to this very point where we are here today, right now? So we started with creating a channel of flow, establishing a connection from the center of the earth to the center of the galaxy, from your higher self, anchored, rooted, grounded in it. And step by step, we got to this point. I'm not doing it. Sources, your guides are. Because to help you flow in balance, to help you resolve the inner conflict of injustice within you, creates more ability to ground and anchor so that when you act on this injustice, it comes from a place of freedom. Acting from freedom is so forceful. Again, think of Jesus. Christ consciousness here, of course. Christ consciousness here with Lord Shiva, Krishna, powerful forces. Change. So here in the spring equinox and energy immersion in the year 2022, working on the imbalance of injustice. We have an angel in our spine. Heck yeah. What a topic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So there's still strengthening your system. That's been going on while we're talking. Optimizing where it's weak. And again, it feels like the back of your shoulders, your central nervous system, your energetic spine, your physical spine, any fascia and tissue for any of you who have shoulder issues or neck issues, all the way to your third chakra, and for some of you, all the way down to your tailbone. But for the most part, it's kidneys up to your neck. Kidneys up to your neck. Any weakness, depletion, imbalance, toxicity held there, cleared, energized. Weakened by the conditioning of toxic injustice. Just a couple more minutes. Whew, there's a pattern of anger right behind your third chakra. There we go. Oh, it was pretty sticky too. And again, it was righteous anger. I know some of you, but all of you on this call, I am sure, can relate. Periods of your life where you're like, dang it, I had a right to be angry. And it's created such a surge of emotion for you, or even motivating for change. And yes, righteous anger can be a great motivator for change, but if it's coming from a place of fear or attachment to an unresolved emotion, all it's doing is creating more of the same. Anger can be quite the motivator. And so meeting that righteousness and unsticking it, it's an incredible skill. Trying to do that on your own takes so much patience and focus. Here we have so much help. What a blessing. And of course, we always do some amazing things on special days like the solstices and equinoxes and Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's Day. Today's no different. Whew. Now they're in your heart center now. Any injustice, any leftover anger in there, hold on. It is literally weakening your heart muscle. There we go. It was like a block, a sticker. I'm not talking, well, like a thorn, not like a sticker like you peel off, a thorn in your heart of righteous anger. Oh, there's another piece there. Yeah, we're going to get to it in just a minute or two, but they're just strengthening the areas around your heart muscle. And this is so very necessary because it takes energy to release energy. So if we don't energize the places that are in need, we can't actually get to the kind of dimensional release that we want to. There is rhyme and reason to each of these phases from start to finish. They work continuously together and create the kind of dimensional change that is lasting, that is transformational, that is evolutionary. Okay, just one little last push. There we go. So you had some in your heart chakra. Getting a little strength in there. Okay, so coming into letting go. And in this phase, it's releasing the issue of injustice. The first thing we're going to do is go to what's called a collective unconscious timeline. This is working on that karmic pattern, that genetic pattern within your personality, within your current life. You're going to hear me breathing for a little bit. Putting in structures. There's a part 2 for this because this is a big issue. It's a big issue for the collective, for humanity. It's a big issue within you, behind your heart. This is part 2. There we go. Let that ripple on through. Collective unconscious timeline works on the signature of injustice through your genetic incarnational history and your personal life, and how it's divinely intertwined. That's why we're focusing on the kidneys. Whew. A lot of that fear attached, a lot of that anger, a lot of that resentment, a lot of hurt, being triggered, being pinged. And now working on what's called a collective conscious conditioning. And collective conscious conditioning is more or less the blueprints, the frameworks and supports, the areas that tend to really be more in your conscious awareness, how you identify within injustice in your current life and how it's held there metaphysically and dimensionally. So again, you're going to hear me breathing for a little bit. And just relax, open up, and receive. Everything is a two-potter. It's like it's working on the sticky stuff, and that kind of gets down. It's just showing what a big issue this is in everybody and in the collective. Okay, so this is the second part of this. Oh, there's a third part to this. Amazing. Maybe that's why we needed an angel help. Oh, of course, they're saying yes. Yeah, the angel is doing 60% of this work for you. That's how big this is. Okay, let that settle. So do you see the brilliance of each of these phases and how they work together? I'm not doing any of this. I'm just listening and navigating. We didn't have that central channel, that groundedness, that flow of light into the grounding and embodiment. If we didn't have the regulation, it really helped to gather together the elements that were out of place or that were needed sorting. We didn't have the embracing to open up those vulnerable areas that were resisting, shut down, avoided, hidden, buried, couldn't get to where we're getting right now. That's the beauty. I'm working with this team, so I'm very grateful. Okay, and then the third part. Is there anything else that needs to be cleared? Relationship to the imbalance of injustice. More like the burden of injustice, because it is being carried behind your heart, in your heart. Behind your shoulder blades. an element of control. Checking any interfaces, any access points, cellular, molecular, quantum, your awareness, all of consciousness. A lot of anger and hatred attached to this. To me, issues are like rope. You know how rope is made up of all these entwined fibers that are then to create a stronger rope that are then wrapped around each other to create even a bigger entwined rope. Issues are like that. They're networked, they're intertwined with each other. So I know a lot of you have worked on various aspects of anger, of resentment, of injustice, of hurt. And in this case, on the spring equinox, where the question is, how can we achieve balance? Where it's pointing to is the leftover burden of injustice that the world is carrying, and the peace within you still is unresolved. Burden of injustice triggers you to look at something and go, that is so unfair. It gets me angry. I'm boiling about it, or I'm so sad, or I can't. It's overwhelming, affecting my nervous system. That's where this work really shines. Really shines. So still just clearing anything else. Now it's going into some sadness, some leftover sadness. We've had angels come in to work with in sessions before, but this one specifically pointed out that they were doing 60% of the work for us. Again, injustice, such an important topic, also such a big topic. Out in the world, in our ancestry, in our karmic history. My goodness, just look at the planet. And I'm sure you know, just how many past lives can relate to having injustice be such a burden in the heart, in the body, in the mind, and the drain that that creates. Okay, so this is such a big movement. We're going to go right into integration. Again, integration on a dimensional level. It's helping to put those puzzle pieces back together. When you really understand how interrelated you are to everything in the world, and if we shift a couple of those places, you have to take the time, make the time to integrate it all back together. In fact, I'll probably send out with this session, make sure you're signed up for my newsletter, a special integration session that if you feel like this session has created a lot of shift and we had an angel in our spine helping us. If you feel like it has, there's a special integration session you can listen to that will go point by point, area by area, do a thorough integration. The more thorough you are with big issues like this, the more transformational impact it will have an effect on your life. It's not enough just to change something. And all of you I know have had that experience where you've had these big changes and it takes you days, weeks, months. Heck, I had something that took a year and a half to integrate through. So integration is key. So integrating it out in all space, in all time, all realities, all levels, dimensions, interdimensionally, in all realms, all fields, physicalizing it, catching it up. So when we set this intention, and whatever your personal intentions are that you set in the beginning of the session, the end result was that it was pointing at the burdens of injustice. And it took pretty much all the setups to get to that delicate, tender, vulnerable, angry, hateful, hurtful places of injustice. It's how brilliant Source is in helping us navigate through tricky areas like this. Because these aspects of injustice are pretty compartmentalized when it comes to how our body locks it down, our minds push it away. I entered this work ages ago. Well, probably, yeah, almost exactly a year ago. I was hesitant. And my guide Source told me, "You're not doing the work, Betty. We are." And sure enough, a year later, I just lean back and marvel, amazed at how they navigate the different phases of what's needed to help shift within us and also shift the greater collective consciousness. So we're just integrating generally first. And going into the brain and brain consciousness. And any specific areas of the brain that may be impacted, amygdala, pituitary, prefrontal cortex, the brainstem, just to catch up, integrate. Integrating the nervous system. Integrating the chakras. especially the physical body, mental body. Integrating the energetic body. Oh, we're on the chakras. I'm sorry. I said energetic body, mental body. I meant third chakra. Wow. Tell that I'm in these sessions along with you. And so when the angel came into my spine, it was quite, quite an experience. This is a potent spring equinox angel. Yep. So in the energetic bodies, especially the physical and mental, now catching up your organs, especially the kidneys and the heart. Yeah, there was a piece of anger in your heart. Integrating consciousness body and all of consciousness. As we do this, I can truly feel the field. We're all in, settle down, become more calmer. Like injustice was like that, those burrs, those stickers, those barbed wire, those thorns, irritants within our system. Integrating the life field. Luminous egg. Assemblage points. It's creating the intelligence fields of the body. These are how your body talks to each other, works with itself. And of course, it was affiliated with those old patterns of injustice, triggering that anger within you, especially those who've had run-ins with the families, with friends, with relationships, with coworkers over some sort of injustice. This is an important session for you. For me, I can relate 100%. And now bridging all those changes back in to the rest of the system. And finally, bringing in Deve therapy, which acts as a dimensional therapist. It brings clarity or relevance to maybe how this is impacting or affecting you. You may get some immediate insight, or something may drop into your system in a dream, or you may just have some light bulb go off in the next day or two. Or things just may be a little bit easier when injustice pops up and you're not so attached to it. So just notice Devi therapy working on the level of genetics very deeply. Of course, it's working in the psyche and psychological body. Beautiful. There is just a calmness now within you, a settled, a balance. Chuckle. And I'm laughing because, of course, that's the theme of this spring equinox session. So we're gently coming into the reorientation phase, and this is where we're bringing in the pattern of you that is in balance, that is flowing with that balance, and that balance that is embodied. When we recognize again that we're dimensional, all possibilities exist. So we're bringing in the overlay, which acts as a blueprint of the you. It has worked through every issue of this injustice, has cleared it, resolved it, transformed it. gained all the wisdom. And this is the you that meets any event, any circumstance, whether it's injustice or anger or any bump or challenge, with that anchored flow, with that balance, equanimity. It has wisdom in that flow. So we're creating new upper dimensional blueprints for this. This flow of balance feels like peace, like we opened up a spigot of peace in that central channel. And while there still may be nuggets of conditioning and stickiness of injustice, this new template is there for you to grow on. And here we are in the beginning season of growth. And this is your promise, this promise of this peaceful flow of balance that is anchored, rooted, grounded in that central channel we created earlier, and flowing with the light that's coming in, the radiance, with the luminosity of the you that knows itself as infinite, as divine, as free. We're going to awaken any identities with the past injustice. Awaken your personality consciousness. Because it's your personality that is made up of all the conditioning that we talked about earlier. And of course, it feels burdened by this, triggered by outer world and the inner conditioning, the imbalances from our ancestors and your karmic history. Now bridging this in, this peaceful flow of balance. Awaken that genetic personality, which tends to be a little bit denser, so it adds to this deepening of freedom. Yeah, a lot of the genetic consciousness really attached to anger as it relates to injustice. There we go. That's pretty dense. Create a new optimal densified personality piece to replace the personality consciousness that was attached to that burden of injustice. And break down the old one. And now bridge it into all of consciousness, ancestral, the rest of your system, which is affiliated with this peaceful flow of balance. There we go. And just catching up the genetics, those shifts and changes. And dropping into the truth tower, which is this multi-dimensional portal. And it's your feet and your primordial reality, your crown and your meta reality in the center of the universe. Your spine merging with all your timelines and this flow, this channel flow we created at the very beginning, along with our angel in our spine. We're just going to bring in the essence of this peaceful flow of balance. And allow it to just come in like sprinkles of water, like snowflakes melting into your skin and through into the center of every cell. White flowers of peace. And it's pooling at your feet in this tower of light. This truth tower is like, imagine just the tree of life, the tree of truth, which is as above, so below, holding you at the center. Is this mandorla of energy that is a toroidal field of your own energy system that branches out and interfaces with the world's toroidal field and this morphogenetic field that radiates out this presence, this peaceful flow of balance throughout all your life. with all your loved ones, communities, workplaces, friends, pets, plants, and out throughout all of creation, getting so much help from the celestials, the spring equinox, angels, your personal angel to radiate out peaceful flow of balance to all the world. And as it does so, you can feel it radiate back to you, flowing out to tops of the mountains, to the depths of the oceans, throughout all the rivers, lakes, and streams, into the soil and the microbes, flowing through the wind and the trees, dropping as raindrops onto the rocks, every animal, birds, the insects, into the hearts of all man, all humankind, especially seeking out anyone, everything facing injustice, dropping these seeds of flowing with peaceful balance, specifically any leaders that are in need of this energetic expression. From your heart to all hearts, and back again in symbiotic resonance. We're adding love to amplify it now. So much love. On this perfect day of balance of light and dark, with a blessing started from Mother Earth to hear our intentions, the blessing of a spring Equinox angel helping us, with our guide joining us. May we dance with delight going forward. Continue to brighten as the day lengthens with sun, and breeze gently washing over us. May we find and trust in the purpose that is blossoming with each of us as a promise, new seeds of growth, specifically for this peaceful harmony of being in balance with all our lives. With the workplace, with play, with effort, with efficiency, action, contemplation, inspiration, creativity. May this balance radiate out, reflect back in. May the blessings of spring continue to create more peace within and without. And as we end this beautiful equinox night, singing a Sanskrit mantra, which is a prayer for peace. Its words, its syllables mean, may it lead us from darkness to light, from untruth to truth, from death to immortality, and let there be peace. Om Asatoma Sakamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Hamtrangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Blessings, blessings, blessings. On this spring day with the blessings of peaceful flow of balance, let there be an abundance of it for enthusiasm, for discovery, for creation. With gratitude for all the help we received today, for the blessings of Mother Earth, for our special spring equinox angel, and for you showing up and for allowing me to be a conduit and facilitator. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I bow my head in honor to all of you. And as much as I hate to end this beautiful flow, it is done. It is complete. And so it is. Bring you up and out of this sacred space. Your angel has left you. Feel free to sit, though, in the flow of this balance that is bringing in more peace and creating it more anchored and embodied for as long as you feel guided. Keep an eye out for the replay and the latest newsletter. And again, thank you for joining us on this night of spring equinox. Until next time, be blessed.